going further into the problem. And as most of us, so-called religious people especially, try to be sincere, we have to understand that question, that word sincerity. Because sincerity develops will. And will is essentially desire. You have to be sincere in order to approximate yourself with an idea. And hence, the pattern becomes more important and the carrying out of that pattern. To carry out a pattern, you must have will. And which denies simplicity. Simplicity comes into being only when there is freedom from the desire to achieve. And when you are willing to go into self-knowledge without any end in view. And I think that is important to really think over. What is required is not sincerity, not the exertion of will to be something or not to be, but to understand oneself from moment to moment, spontaneously as things arise. How can you be spontaneous when you are approximating? How do you discover anything in yourself? Only at unexpected moments. When you are not consciously, deliberately shaping your mind or your thoughts, feelings. Only when there is a spontaneous response to the incidents of life. Then you, according to those responses, you find out. But a man who is trying to be sincere to an idea can never be simple. And therefore there can never be full, complete self-knowledge. And self-knowledge can only be discovered more and more fully, deeply, widely, when there is passive awareness, which is not the exertion of will. Will and sincerity go together. Simplicity and passive awareness are companions. Because when one is passively aware, deeply, then there is a possibility of immediate understanding. As we discussed, when you want to understand something, if you're all the time consumed with the desire to understand it, making an effort to understand it, naturally there is no understanding. But if there is a passive, alert awareness, then there is a possibility of understanding it. Similarly, to understand oneself ever deeply and widely, there must be passive awareness, which is extremely difficult for most of us either condemn or justify. We never look at anything passively. We project ourselves upon the subject. Painting a poem or anything, especially where we are concerned. We are incapable of looking at ourselves without any condemnation or justification. And that is essential, surely, to understand more and more, wider and deeply, as most of us in the search of self-knowledge get caught in self-consciousness, the danger is being caught, one makes up the thing in which one is caught the most important thing. And to go beyond self-consciousness, there must be the freedom from the desire to achieve a result. Because after all, the achievement of the result is what the mind wants. It wants to be secure, to be safe, and therefore projects out of its own momentum an image, an idea in which it takes shelter. And to avoid all the illusion that the mind creates and being caught in it, it is only possible, such avoidance, when there is no desire for a result. One is living from moment to moment, and that is possible. Would you please explain what you mean by dying daily? Would you please explain what you mean by dying daily? Why is it that we are so frightened of death? Because death is the unknown. Tomorrow we don't know what's going to happen. Actually, we don't know what's going to happen. Though we build for tomorrow, actually, realistically, we don't know. And so there is always the fear of tomorrow. So, fear is the guiding factor. That is the incapacity to meet the unknown. And therefore, we continue taking over from today to tomorrow. That's what we are doing, aren't we? We give continuity to our idiosyncrasies, to our jealousies, to our stupidities, to our memories. We carry them over wherever we are from day to day. Don't we do that? And so there is no dying. There is only an assurance of continuity. That's a fact. Our names, our actions, the things that we do, our property, the desire to be, all these give a continuity. Now, when that which continues obviously cannot renew. There can be renewal only when there is an ending. If you are the same tomorrow as you are today, how can there be renewal? That is, if you are attached to an idea, to an experience which you have had yesterday and desire to continue it again tomorrow, there is no renewal. There is a continuity of the sensation of the memory of that experience. But the experience itself is dead. There is only the memory of that sensation, of the experience. And that sensation you want to continue. And where there is continuity, obviously there is no renewal. And yet it is what most of us want. We want to continue. We want to continue with our worries, with our pleasures, with our memories. And so most of us are actually uncreated. There is no possibility of a rebirth, a renewal. Whereas if each day we died, finished all our worries at the end of the day, all our jealousies, all our idiocies and vanities, cruel gossip, the whole business. If we came to an end each day, not carry it over for tomorrow, then there is a possibility of renewal, is there not? Which means, why do we accumulate? And what is it that we accumulate? Apart from furniture and few things, what is it that we accumulate? Ideas, words and memories, are they not? And with these we live. We are those things. And with those things we want to live. We want to continue. And if we did not continue, there is a possibility of a new understanding, a new opening. This is not metaphysical, this is not something extraordinary. Experiment with it with yourself and you will see an extraordinary thing take place. How the mind worries over a problem over and over and over again, day after day. Such a mind is incapable, obviously, of seeing something new, is it not? How we are caught in our beliefs, religious, sociological, or any other form of belief. And those beliefs are you. Beliefs are words. And the word becomes important. And so you live in a sensation which you want to continue. And therefore there is no renewal. But if one does not continue, give continuity to a worry, but think it out, go into it fully and dissolve it, then your mind is fresh to meet something else, anew. See, but the difficulty is, most of us want to live